Stop watching porn and go live, says QWERTY in the chats. And indeed, I've stopped the porns and we are now live. We are now live indeed. Welcome back. It's a nice little Monday morning here. Shit's moving. Shit's actually happening in Bitcoin world and in gold and in traditional markets. And we have a very interesting situation where Bitcoin trading with traditional markets, mostly the tech sector, obviously, but is opposite, is obtuse of gold and silver and the metals. And it does seem to me that we are seeing the beginning of a potential major reversal. In fact, I took my next major options trade. We'll go over that a little bit later once we get to the opening ceremonies. But yeah, I got the green light for that, and I am nice and in position as of the current moment, and just watching and waiting at this point as Bitcoin does put in its first major rally, its first actual important rally since, fuck man, it's been a long time since Bitcoin had a real important rally. But most importantly here, we do have what would be the next higher low for Bitcoin in place. That's the $65,500 low right here. The spike low on Friday was very telling, and I did take that position around the closure of Friday based off of that information right there. Very easy to manage a position like this. I'll go into more detail later, like I did say, but I'm seeing that I'm getting all kinds of emails in the background. Oh God. I appreciate the sentiment, Jose. I really do appreciate that, man. Look, I'm just trying to share what I know here. I'm actually right now in the midst of working on the new Options 101 playlist, and my love for options is reignited. Oh man, they're the best. They are the best. But it's unfortunate because not everyone can play them properly, because it requires a lot of equity, honestly, in order to make it work properly. Many people look at options as just like lottery tickets. They just want to buy premiums and hope and pray to God that it goes deep in the money and you make all kinds of money. And honestly, that is the absolute worst way to use it, and you will lose certainly more often than not doing exactly that. You'll be having the death by 1,000 paper cuts. But as I get through this options playlist, I'm now about 30% done. I just recorded the third video last night. I'll probably record another one or two today, and I'm looking to release that within a month, let's say, but I really want to get this one right, because I do believe it's so important for people who really want to do this as a career. Options is honestly the way. It is the way, because you can protect yourself significantly better than just trading straight up spot or futures. Yes, you can do it that way. Obviously, many people make it work. We made it work before as well. But if you want to make things a little bit easier on yourself, and you want to give yourself, to use a bad pun, like the optionality to be literally wrong on direction. You can be literally wrong on direction with options, and if you do it right, you can still make money, which is the most powerful thing about it. And then obviously, when Bitcoin is boring, you have options to make money during those times as well. But yeah, man, I've been really enjoying putting that together, and it's like I'm hazing myself over again, honestly, because options are more difficult to understand, no doubt about that. And when I'm creating this playlist, I'm like thinking in my mind, like, okay, does this make sense to someone who's like just watching this for the first time or not? It is difficult. I totally get that. I totally sympathize with people who are looking to get into that game. Anyways, you can see that I got the moons in the background right there. We got a couple of ancient indicators that we'll be bringing back on this on this stream as well. On Bitcoin, no, gold even having a nice little pullback here, but still, gold, objectively isn't an uptrend, so it's hard to make a call one way or another on this one as of the current moment. Silver, I still think is like quite obviously a bull trap. In fact, this one, yeah, that could be it today. It got up to about $96. Yeah, okay, fair enough. This is really starting to look like it for me on silver. That's like beautifully picture perfect. Gold, however, a different story. Just getting this close to your previous high, usually the trap is going to happen a lot lower than that. It would have made a lot more sense right here at about 5,200. This over here is throwing me for a loop, which is why I don't trade gold. I have zero skin in the game. So if you're trading that, good fucking luck to you, buddy. Good fucking luck, man. Anyways, Friday Rock says, I'd love to learn how to trade options. Yeah, man, it is, in my opinion, the most powerful thing. It really is. Now, if you're going to be a long-term investor, don't really think that you need to know it that much. I see another comment. Brizzy Boy says, Crown is the best. Also gay. Yes, indeed. I'm the gayest of the gay, and you are here to listen to the gayest. The gayest in the world, my man. The gayest in the world. Gay for TA, also gay for sex with men. Amazing fucking idea. Silver is at $86 right now, says Jose. Actually, I was just there. Let's see. What was it exactly? 86? Oh yeah. It does have a low at about 86 and a half. I would say your bull trap is effectively confirmed with any sort of a closure below, especially last Wednesday's low. That was 85 and a quarter. I mean, it's looking a lot more likely right here, honestly, but that'd be like your traditional confirmation, if you will. But for right now, looking very high probability to me. It's gold that's the wild card. Like, what the hell is that thing doing? Probably also look at oil as well. Oil is obviously going to be moving during these times. With everything that's going on in the world. To reference the title of today, yes, indeed, shit's going crazy. And what do you know? Gold, oil, black gold, as some people like to call it, actually pulling back perfectly from its most recent test this morning to that weekly 200% moving average. That's a white moving average right here. That is the same moving average that has arrested 1, 2, 3 of the major rallies of the past couple of years. And before that was holding this bitch up for, most of 2023 on these mega lows right here. So I hate oil. I don't actually hate oil, but I just hate trading oil because I don't think that I can do it very well. But hey, if there ever was a place for another lower high, this would make a lot of sense. And you get these sort of moves on major news like we've seen over the past few days with war with Iran. Typically people are going to look at that as good for oil, which it initially was. But how do markets typically top out? Well, they typically top out on good news. And I do believe that this is very likely going to be the next major high for oil if it does play technically. If it doesn't, well, then whatever, fucking let it do what it's going to do, I guess. But ultimately, if I had to call it, I guess I'd be calling that on the next lower high, even though daily doesn't really look like it to me, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, no skin in the game on this one either. So perhaps it's best that we just go through it. Brizzy Boy says, I knew it. Yes, I've been hiding it for so long that I'm the gayest of the gay. And finally, you figured it out. You figured out the fucking Da Vinci Code. I congratulate you, sir. It's not like I say I'm fucking gay for TA on every goddamn video for the past 6 years. But here we are. But here we are. Bitcoin RSI on the 15-minute is high AF right now. And you know what that means. When the RSI is high, bro, you gotta sell. I heard that this was overbought in my Bitcoin for Derpies class 101. When the RSI is high, you gotta sell. Yeah, except when the RSI is actually very, very high, it's a sign of significant momentum. This one being done on volume as well. This does have the etchings of a potential reversal here. Let me finish off a little bit more of this caffeine and then we'll actually get into it. But there are several things on Bitcoin that are really on the precipice of firing off here that actually do change the game for the first time since we got into this range in early February on the dump down to $60,000. So one moment, just let me finish this off. Oh, baby. What's up? Good morning to you, Mr. Sam Fragnosi and Junior Riggs. Holy shit, man. OGs are coming back. I love it. I fucking love it, man. Yeah, so let me get onto my notes over here. A few things. So I actually do want to talk about the moons right here just because we are going to see the traditionally bullish moon fire off later tonight. If you want just yet another weird reason to potentially be a little bit optimistic here, I think that perhaps could be it because this bearish moon, I guess, time is expiring as of tonight, at either tonight or tomorrow, but basically within the next day or two. So, traditionally, this has been generally good for Bitcoin price action. Not always. Obviously, the last bull moon over here dumped to new lows pretty nastily, but the ones before that did produce some nice rallies. Obviously, Bitcoin famously topped out on one of those bull moons too, but it might be bottoming out on the next one. Now, the signals that I wanted to go over, because they are staring us right in front of our very faces, is one based off of the Ribbon Ribbons indicators, the Ribbits over here. And Bitcoin is kind of its first chance today in over 2 months, or I guess, yeah, going back to middle of January for the first time since then to actually reclaim the mid-band. That is significant because that is exactly where Bitcoin's been getting rejected from on this whole move to the downside for almost 2 months straight now. And with that in mind, Bitcoin can reverse that by closing above the mid-band, which is 67,205. If it can do that in the next 7 hours, 25 minutes, and 23 seconds and counting, then we do have our first major objective signals of a reversal in progress here. More importantly, alongside what would be a higher low that we saw from Friday's move to the downside, which was quickly bought back on up. Now, Ribbon Ribbons is given a short-term pattern target all the way up here to about $71,000 on the lower end. That can extend quite easily to the dotted line here at 73,650 or so. So I would be outlining these as areas of interest. assuming Bitcoin finishes the day above that mid-band, again, 67,200, that is very, very important right there. That would set into motion those generalized targets. I don't know how long it takes. Maybe it happens this week, maybe it happens next week, but, you know, in March, basically, very, very likely. I still think that Bitcoin's overall very likely range bound. Just fucking post it. All right, I got it. Okay, let me pin my message. Pin my message. Yes, pin my message. I pin your fucking message, huh? Anyways, Elsa, what's Rosie doing? Oh, she's sleeping. Dog's fucking lazy. Anyways, also on the Reverend Ribbons here, if you can see, it's kind of hard to see right now, but these dotted green or these green dots in the lower band here, these are traditionally bouncy regions for trending moves. So this is still a downtrending move, to be fair, but you can see that Bitcoin has actually perfectly bounced off of this for the low of March thus far. Now we're only 2 days or 3 days into March, to be fair, but I would be looking at March in general to play anywhere within this blue box. And assuming Bitcoin completes a reversal today, I would say that we likely have the low end for the month if that condition that we set out earlier is validated by today's daily closure. And the range for the month should be between basically yesterday's low and the top side of this band here, which is 76,000 and change. In other words, I actually don't think that we're going to see anything super significant to the upside, even if Bitcoin does, you know, play out a nice short-term reversal here. But hey, you know, from 69 all the way to 76, that's not, you know, it's not bad at all. What the fuck? What? Rosie's typing, which is not. Fucking stop that shit real fast. Anyways, on the more, I guess, bullishly biased note here, Bitcoin also gonna have a chance to put in some bullish divergence by today's daily closure. Again, any sort of a closure here or higher, or essentially above the yellow 21 EMA on the daily time frame, which is just below 69,000 bucks, will do it. So you have bullish divergence. And for the OGs of this channel, we haven't spoken about this indicator in a long time, the Jewel, but this is a continuation signal right here. So if that plays out, you know, somewhere around that green 55 EMA is the target. And guess what? That's 75,500, 76,000 bucks, somewhere around there, assuming that these things do happen. Again, it's a long day left to go, but you can see the dominoes in the background starting to align. And, you know, one thing before the next, but all of these things are interrelated with each other and, you know, very easily could see a you know, pretty decent rally into the mid or even deep $70,000 territory. On top of that, I also wanted to go over this too. Yeah, right on over here. So monthly time frame for Bitcoin as we get a new monthly open, we did see the monthly stochastic oscillator come down significantly. Now, here's the thing about this. This is obviously not bullish, you know, for a stochastic momentum oscillator, but I did want to point out a few things here because on this particular drive for the predicted movement, we can see that this thing will be coming down to about the 20 read on, I guess this would be April, you know, assuming things don't really change significantly. When I say change significantly, I mean like not below like fucking 50,000 bucks and not above 80,000 bucks for this month of March, which I think is very unlikely to see above or below those regions very specifically. But assuming that this prediction plays out somewhere around here, which mathematically it will, you know, assuming Bitcoin just kind of holds, then this range for the monthly stochastic oscillator has generally correlated with about the lows of previous market cycles. The only place where this is not true is, of course, the previous market cycle of November 2022. But you could argue that that was a black swan based off of FTX. And realistically, your low right here, you know, was effectively the low. And again, you know, long term, buying at those sort of prices when the monthly stochastic oscillator is in that position, it's been a good long-term do. So I still stick with what I've been saying, that if you are a long-term investor, and I'm putting on my long-term investor hat right now, and second, I'm gonna put on my option trader hat, but for the long-term investors, you know, buying near the end of this month, and yes, I already did buy 60,000 bucks, but I will buy again at the end of this month, you know, assuming that that plays out somewhere down around there. Because long-term value, again, for me, I'm holding 9 years, and I would say for anyone else holding more than 4 years, that's probably going to be a good do long term. If you're short term, it could be disastrous because the bi-monthly time frame right here is still ugly AF. It's ugly as fuck. Don't get me wrong. This is the one that makes me think that we might have severe downside at some point, to be honest. Or at least when I say severe downside, I mean like a move into low 50s or upper 40s, something like that. But, you know, this month of March should hold. I don't think that we're going to see below February's low, and I don't think that we're going to see really anywhere above 80,000 bucks. And Bitcoin probably tries to rally, or, you know, in the short term here for March. That's kind of just wrapping up my thoughts. Now on to the options trade. So for Bitcoin, I did take an options trade at the end of Friday. What I did here is similar to what I was showing on Wednesday of last week, I think it was. I did do slightly different sizes, honestly. I did do 30, I did a short put spread. I shorted the $61,000 put strike 30 times, expiring at the end of this month, March. And then I longed the $59,000 put strike expiring 1 week earlier on March 20th, 10 times. Now, this obviously is not fully covered, but it's a super, super easy trade to manage. And the maximum profit, assuming that Bitcoin just closes anywhere above 61,000 bucks by the end of March, will pull in 32,700 bucks, which, not bad. Not bad for a month's work. But here's the thing. This position, not guaranteed to work out for me. And I could even lock in that profit even if I'm wrong. And this is exactly what I was alluding to earlier with options and the beauty of them, because we have such an obvious inflection point now on Bitcoin, which is last Friday's low. Last Friday's low is $63,000. If Bitcoin trades below that number, it doesn't even have to close below that number, although that would be very, very obvious if it does. But if Bitcoin even just trades below that number, I will cover that position by taking a by basically shorting Bitcoin equal to the amount of contracts that I have short on this $61,000 put strike. I will still lock in this maximum profit, and I'll even lock in the difference between 63,000 bucks and 61,000 bucks. That's another 30x, or I guess it's actually 20 because anyways, times 2,000. So these are the positions that I love to wait for because they're very easy to manage when you actually have them. And again, I can be completely wrong in the direction here, and I will very likely still make money on this position, which is, in my opinion, the best position to be having. Let me see. Oh, you actually can't even really see the maximum profit down there, but well, there you go. There it is. Anyways, yes. Okay. Very, very cool. Other than that, let's go over to traditional markets. Traditional markets are still holding on higher lows. And yeah, it looks weak. It looks ugly. It looks like it's hanging on for fucking dear life. But as long as it doesn't go below that February low, it's still a higher low. Does it look ugly? Yes. Does it still have an objective major reversal? Not necessarily. Again, below February low, we have a reversal. I'm going to turn bearish on NASDAQ and SPY. SPY looking a little bit better here, to be fair. But until then, I guess I'm like slightly optimistic here. Defense stocks have gone absolutely crazy in the last 24 hours, or I mean, the last few hours since markets opened. If you've been following my long-term investment portfolio, you know that I'm probably very big into defense stocks. Just want to kind of showcase them over here. Some of these I don't have positions in, some of them I do, but these are the ones that I'm looking at right now. I mean, this one fucking PPA just straight to the moon. I mean, goddamn, man. The ones that we've been following a lot on this channel have been up big since today started. And of course, this is just playing with the narrative, right? Or shit, Kratos went up big, then came down big. It looks like, yeah, spiked up to like 97, now back down to 89. But overall, these things I am still holding. I still love my major defense ETFs like SHLD, ITA, and XAR. All of these ones are either making new highs or challenging previous highs. So all good in the hood right there. And then for the, the individualistic stocks like Red Cat, like Kratos, they are having a nice rally to start off this day. Kratos still kind of following the LARP lines here too. I am still holding this one, yada, yada. You get the idea right there. And, again, it's just playing with the fucking narrative, I suppose. And Lunar doing his thing too, man. This thing's still holding in there. I mean, that $15 inflection point still proving itself as valid. So, as long as it's above there, I continue to hold to answer the question that I absolutely know I'm gonna get because I get it every fucking stream. Anyways, we'll get over to the super chats now. Let's see, where do I want to leave off? I want this, no, not this chart, I want this chart over here. Yeah, we'll use this chart over here. All right, cool. Let's see what else is lined up. We see Lutfi Muradova. Miss Muradova is first. She says, could you please check hype again? Last short paid well. I'm looking for another one. Yeah, I remember when you were asking about that when it was trading at like 30 bucks and I was like, maybe wait a little bit. It's probably going to spike up a little bit higher. But then, you probably got your setup. Last I looked, that looked like it played out very, very well. Bitstamp here showing a pretty nice rally. So it looks like you already took profit. Really good. Awesome. I need to find a longer running chart though to get a better idea on this one, because that buyback actually does look pretty good from what I just saw right there. Maybe we can go here. Yeah, this is a little bit better. This, I don't want to short it right here. I'll put it that way. it was an easier call before because this was just like that first spike up into that 200 simple on the daily. The second one, maybe you get the same reaction at the same level again, 36 and a quarter or 36 and a half bucks, the 200 simple right here on the daily. I don't feel as confident on that one because you actually do have a potential higher low in here. So look, if you want to take the position, that's obviously up to you. That's, dependent upon your risk tolerance and everything like that. What I can say is this: if you are intent on taking that position, there's only one area that makes sense to manage risk on, and it is quite literally the high of the previous rally, which is 38.39. And that means if you get a setup where price spikes up somewhere around here and you short, then you don't have to you don't have to risk that much in order to figure out if you're going to be right or wrong, because it's only a couple bucks away to that invalidation point. Personally, I don't like this one as much, but hey, that's up to you. This one very well might work out. I just don't, with a higher low right here, I would be a little bit more cautious on this next one. I think the first one you did was great. The second one, I personally wouldn't take it. That's just me, but I have no balls and you have many balls. Anyways, Pisa says, good morning, sir. Up, down, or sideways for XRP? It depends what time frame you're looking at. I imagine XRP is very likely rallying with the rest of the market because, well, for all the shit that XRP gets, like, at least it hasn't gone down only, throughout its whole lifetime. Hasn't done a whole hell of a lot to the upside as well, but, at least hasn't gone down only. Looking at XRP here, I just don't think it's going to be making significantly new lows anytime soon. I'll put it that way. Sideways in a range with next move to the upside, most likely, assuming that it does break out above yesterday's high, I'd be looking somewhere back around like 1.5 to 160-ish region. I don't think you're getting much past that in the short term. Looking at the monthly right here, it's range bound with the short-term rally bias, basically. If it pops up to like 150, 160, I don't think you're getting much past there for this month of March. Do you need margin for that spread play, Crown? Yes, you need lots of margin, sir. You need lots of that is the problem with options, and why I think, one, they are complicated, and then two, in order to do them right, you need a lot of equity, because to properly do options, you need to be able to short options. And that requires a shit ton of equity compared to obviously just normal futures trading, or even if you're like shorting futures, for example, options are going to require significantly more. To buy options requires significantly less, which is why people typically, go towards that. But, as we went over earlier, it's a great way to lose a lot of money, honestly. Yeah, it only took 6 years for XRP to rally. Yeah, I mean, look, in my opinion, as an investment, I think it's a terrible investment, but at least it's not as bad as the overwhelming majority of nearly every other shitcoin, which is down only. So, got to give credit where credit is due, of course. Anyways, moving on from there, we got MG76067. He says, good morning. What's up, man? AAOI, daily, weekly, monthly. Okay, I'm guessing this is the shonk. Applied Optoelectronics. Sounds cool. Also a very good chart. Very nice chart. New all-time highs. Can't hate that. This is a fucking breakout, man. You don't need me to tell you that. You don't need me to validate that for you. Look, if you get a pullback down to like 78 bucks or 80 bucks or whatever, it's an obvious buy in my opinion. Are you going to get that move? I don't know. This thing is breaking out. So if it does have a quick spike down, that's an obvious move, but from here, it's generally going to be up, man. This is good. This is very, very good. You got big volume on the breakout too. You're already at new highs, opening the month up there. This thing wants more, man. It wants more. Don't even make it any more complicated than that. Now, do I have price targets for something like this? I don't know about that. Well, I guess there is a formation here, so maybe we could make some sort of an implied target. Let's see, because you do have one of these going on. Let's see, something like so. So I guess next area event is going to be like 140. Jesus, man, 140. That's like literally 40% from where you're at right now. That's not bad. It's not bad. But, who knows how long that takes to play out. Might be a few months. Might be many more than that as well. MG is back. He's looking at ASTS. ASTS. Got it. Okay. New one for me as well. Not as interesting, but I guess I kind of see what you're looking at here. It is on all-time highs, basically. Is this going to be the next higher low? I don't hate it. I see what you're looking at. And it is, to be fair, a very easy position to be managing if you do want to enter right here, because last week's low would be your proverbial invalidation. Below last week's low of 77 bucks, it's wrecked, or it's not wrecked, but you got a much deeper pullback into the 60s. Until then, could this be the next higher low? Very possible. I don't personally like it as much as the other one because you are competing with some bearish divergence on the monthly here. So it is very possible that it does lose that low. And at that point, you're probably looking down to like 55 or $60. So that is a long way down from where you're at right now. I don't like it as much, but if you're cool with that risk, then that's up to you, obviously. You do have some bullish divergence on the daily, so it should be at least one more rally attempt. I wouldn't really validate this one as like quote unquote good until you do see it pop back up and close above both of these major moving averages here at about 89 and a quarter or so. If you see something like that, okay, yeah, great. And there is a chance. I mean, bullish divergence plus low volatility, we would expect this move to happen over the next few days. So if you don't see that move happen, then I guess get ready for it to fall a bit. But yeah. Great White Hype is back. He's looking at Circle on the 4-hour and daily. A lot of people asked about Circle today. Interesting. I haven't been watching it that much in the morning, but yeah, really powerful rally here. Okay, am I missing my position on this one? I still don't think so. I don't like chasing these things. Again, for me, I need to see a higher low first for me to really consider that there's a major macro reversal in progress. For right now, it is a gap fill at the top side of your previous range. I mean, technically, this should be a short, if anything, but I personally wouldn't short it here. I also just wouldn't buy it here as well. I don't like this area personally. So I'll put it this way. Like, I'll tell you what I'm doing. Look, I 100% plan to invest in Circle, but not here. I don't have the setup that I want just yet. Might I be disastrously wrong and I miss it? It's very possible, man. It's very fucking possible. I'm not going to get all of them correct. But in this case, I'm just not seeing exactly what I want to see. That makes it a strong investment value to me. I need to see, based off of my own preferences, a higher low first before I even anticipate the possibility of a reversal. And we don't have that right here, even on the weekly. So, if it's going to get rejected, I mean, this is kind of the place to get rejected from. So I would not be chasing it here. I know that it looks crazy because it's got nearly a 2x rally off the lows, which is a big deal, but it's had a history of doing these big rallies before and then failing. So I'm not buying into it right now. I completely accept the possibility that I might be disastrously wrong on this one, and I'll just move on to the next one, honestly. Same thing with Gemini. Gemini popping off a bit off the lows. This one actually does have the potential for a higher low here. So I would actually be interested in this one over Circle in the short term if it can actually close above last Wednesday's high at $6.50. But I look at these two things as the same. Like I want long-term positions in both of these. I just I don't have exactly what I want to see just yet for Circle. For Gemini, a little bit better though, to be fair. A little bit better right there. All right, let me get my actual water over here, not my coffee water. Whoops. Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right. Anonymous says, even though it's still useless, banks will still deal in dollars and stable coins. Probably not XRP tokens. Yeah. That's always been an issue with XRP. It's like, why would a bank use it when they can just create their own or use, I don't know, like a better endorsed stablecoin? I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense to me, I guess. Anyways, MG is back. He's looking at BE daily weekly. Gotcha, man. Let's check it out here. Bloom Energy, really, really good on the daily thus far. Potential, well, not necessarily potential for a bullish engulfing yet. I mean, it would have to trade above Friday's high at 167 and a third, but overall, it's good, man. Overall, I'm bullish on this. I think that this is a cup and handle that's completing and you're leading into new highs. This is extremely bullish in my opinion. And I think that you're going to see like 200 plus, probably 215. Now, how long does that take? I don't know. Might be a few months, but overall, good. Overall, I'd be bullish on this thing. I have absolutely no reason to be bearish on it. As long as you're above about 138, 135 region, whatever it is. Yeah. Is gold cooked? I don't know. Let's go over to it. I really struggle with gold here. Silver, in my opinion, is the easy one right now to call. Gold is not. Gold is not. Is silver cooked? You can't say that just yet because it is still on objectively higher lows. So gold is still objectively on higher lows. Where does gold destroy that narrative? Well, if it starts to come back down below last week's low or below about 5,100, okay. Might be some cooking action, if you will. But for right now, I don't want to call it. I feel a lot more confident it came back down below about 5,100 to call this as the bull trap. Again, this is wildly different than silver's chart, which is, I mean, that is like your traditional bull trap right there. Just needs to close below last Wednesday's low, and I mean, shit, man, I'm not going to play it, but, you know, congratulations to all the people who do. Anyways, Biff the Bear says, can you check out Chevron? Sure. Symbol is CVX, right? Yeah. Still good. Still, look, it closed on new all-time highs on the monthly, man. Don't need to overthink this thing. If it has a pullback down to like 175 or 180, I would probably buy it personally. And again, I don't really want to get involved in like gold, in oil and gas, but overall it's bullish, man. It's going above $200. Very likely, I should say. But does it have a short-term pullback first to like 180 and then launch up? Possible, yes. I'd look at that as an opportunity. This is objectively bullish. Shit, man, look at the fucking buy monthly here too. Like, that's good. Again, if it came down to like 175 or 180, that would be a real easy position to take, at least in my opinion. Gabriel says, takes a lot of time and money for a bank to create its own stablecoin and won't hold up versus XRP. Sure, man, but I think if anyone has the resources, it's going to be the banks. I don't know, man. I guess we'll see how that one plays out. At the end of the day, I don't fucking know. You don't fucking know. None of us fucking know. That would just be my intuition. But hey, if XRP ends up being super successful for you, man, I'm happy for you. I'm just not involved in it. Doesn't really make much sense to me, but hey, that's why we got markets, man. Sam Fergozi, what's up, man? Good morning to you. Euro dollar, okay. Oh, I have this one on my list. I don't know why I'm typing this shit out. I haven't even looked at it in a while though, seeing as I've escaped. I'm a refugee from Europe and I've escaped, and beautiful. Oh my God. It couldn't be more picture perfect. It couldn't be more picture perfect. Another monthly rejection on that white 200-moving average. Probably on some bearish divergence too. Let's see. Yeah, there will be. Yeah, there should be actually. I think this thing's coming down, you know, for the next few months. I think it's coming down to like 113, 114 region. Probably going to see some bounces along the way, but it's another lower high, man. Same thing with the bi-monthly as well. Also getting stuffed by that 200-moving average. And this one has, I think, yeah, a very slight amount of bearish divergence, but should be good enough to get it back down to like 113. How long does this take? Who the fuck knows? I mean, we're looking at monthlies and bi-monthlies, so this might be like way later on in this year. But if you're on the daily, short-term probably tries to bounce off of the 200 simple. You know, it probably tries to bounce off of here, but I just don't think that bounce is going to hold. I think whatever high you saw from January is going to be your high. So, you know, might do one of these where, you know, blah, 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 tries a few bounces, but then ultimately fails. It's kind of what I'd be looking at right there, man. Traditional markets flipping green. Let's check it out, Mr. Bill Norblatt. Yeah. Hey, not bad. And Jesus Christ, man. It's still a little bit further away from doing it, but based off the way the daily's looking right here, I mean, shit. I guess it's not so far-fetched to think that it may put in a bullish engulfing dildo. If it does trade above 69.15.5 today, that's a pretty fucking strong signal, man. Same thing with NASDAQ. This one not as strong. Well, it's a little bit closer to Friday's high, actually, 25,098. Yeah, just about $60 away from there right now. Gold really only has value. I don't know. Depends on you. I mean, problem with gold is that I can't like go into the fucking store and use it to pay for shit. That's the real issue. People are having trouble selling silver because metals shops don't want to pay out these high prices when they know it'll be $40 in a few months. Sure. Okay. I don't know how to validate or not validate that statement. What I can say is the price is what it is, my man. The price is what it is. Everything else is subjective opinions. San, I'm going to call you San, or Sanjay. Could you check out Hood and align it with Bitcoin? Why does it need to be aligned with Bitcoin, man? There's no correlation here with Bitcoin. At least I wouldn't think so. You do have a nice higher low in place on what will be very likely a bullish engulfing dildo, assuming it closes above Friday's high at 77.78. At that point, I think that you probably pop up and fill the gap at 85. Yeah. And actually, my LARP lines here still have it bouncing. What are they based off of? Yeah, the monthly 21 probably. Yeah. Where are you going? Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, yeah, short term, you know, I'd be betting on some short term upside on this one, back into like the mid or low 80s, something like that, man. Yeah, just need to see it close today above Friday's high. Should be good for a bounce. I don't know if I'd call like a major reversal here to the upside, but bounce into the mid 80s probably. Something like that, man. Let's see. Yeah, but Gabriel, think about it this way, man. So if you're a bank, do you want to use someone else's technology, or would you rather just create your own in-house? You know, I mean, you have the resources to do it. You certainly can hire the technological experts to put that into motion. That would just be my thoughts. But again, man, look, if you're bought into XRP and you really believe in it, like, that's cool. That's fine. Like, I'm not trying to fucking dissuade you, man. I'm just letting you know my opinion. I don't generally like it long term. Put it that way. It's just not been a good investment. Straight passes. Can we take a look at Mara daily, weekly? Sure. Rally beautifully up to that green 55. What are you doing? Oh, Elsa grabbing her wall. Oh God, what's going on now? Probably look for this one to extend the rally a little bit more towards, you know, 10.5, maybe even $11. I don't like where it is, though. I do think that this is ultimately very ugly here. And I do think that it will head lower given enough time, but short term should rally up a little bit more. So if you're on a daily, I'd be calling, I mean, maybe back up to like 10.5 to $11, something like that. But in my opinion, this one's just a game of finding out where the next lower high is. And I'd be very aware that it probably happens somewhere around here, if not before then, and then, you know, more likely down. Did the dog stop eating poop? No, I caught one in her mouth just the other day, actually. But I've been getting better at like catching them, to be honest, man. I'm getting really fucking good at snatching those shits. Agree to disagree. It's all good. Yeah, man. That's kind of where I'm at on that one. Like, look, I got no skin in the game on XRP, so it's like, if you're right, you know, more power to you. I'm gonna be happy for you. I don't give a like. I'm not rooting for it to fail. I don't care about that sort of shit. You know. Anyways, what else do we got here? Have you gone over oil? We just kind of went over there very quickly on WTI. If anything, I guess I'd be calling a high right here, or maybe a little bit higher towards 75 on crude. But I don't know, man. Look, I don't have good opinions on oil. I don't think it plays that technically, and I just have a lot of bad experience with oil. I'll put it that way. So I personally have a rule that I do not trade it. I do not invest in it, because I just think this one, if anything, is the most politically driven. Just the way that things are. Athos Ferre says XRP, the token, is not what the bank would use, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I do understand that there is a difference between XRP, the technology, or Ripple, the technology, and then XRP, the token. Many people think that the token was just created so that the founders could enrich themselves and create their project. I don't know. I don't know. Apple for M trades, sure, man. AAPL. Sorry, and then we'll get to Darkra in just a moment. Bit of a higher low right there, but I don't trust it too much right now. Actually, higher low could very easily work there. You know what? Should rally up from here. And again, it's not because it's like I'm 100%, you know, confident that I'm gonna be right on that. It's just there's a super easy invalidation, and it's today's low. Below today's low, I would capitulate and I would look for this thing to come all the way down to like 245. But for right now, I guess give it a chance to rally, man. It's very strong. Anyways, Darkra is looking at ABAT. I recognize the ticker. I just don't remember what it looks like. Down, bad, very bad, very, very bad, very bad, 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 bad. Is it forming hidden bullish divergence on the week? You can't have hidden bullish divergence in a downtrend. You can only have hidden bullish divergence in an uptrend. No, I think at best on a rally, you might get like $5.50, but I'd be looking for rejections around there. So I do think it's possible that you might rally in this month of March. It's just, I would be looking for a lower high right there. Is there bullish divergence here? No. Yeah, no, I don't see it at least. But that doesn't mean that it can't rally. It very well could. And if it does, $5.50 or so, somewhere around there makes a lot of sense. But that's exactly precisely what I'd be looking for on the next rejection before going lower. Not in March, but, you know, I don't know, maybe in like summer of this year, something like that. Overall, yeah, I don't like this chart long term really at all. But I do think that you could have, I do think that I might try a little bit of a rally here. So fair enough. Shout out to Cam Daly and his new Bitcoin documentary. Never heard of him, but sounds cool. I don't know. Is it good or bad? Who knows? Let's see. Ayusha says, is closing below 65,000 bucks an invalidation point for the current upside move? Let's go over to Bitcoin really quickly and reference exactly what you're talking about. You could basically use today's low. So 65,000 bucks, 300, same thing basically. Yeah, you could definitely do that. Yeah, you know, but first we'd really want to validate the actual bullish signals before having an invalidation, to be fair. But yeah, I see what you're seeing. I agree with what you're saying. But ultimately, you really want to see Bitcoin close about here first or higher, ideally. Play out some bullish evidence, play out the daily jewel, play out a few other things that we were looking at. And then sure, yeah, you know, we start to talk about that. Also, as I recognize it for the 5-day time frame, which to be fair, is not closing anytime soon, but this will be a focus on maybe Friday's video. There's a potential to actually reclaim the 5 EMA. And at that point, you know, I think this rally could really get going. Can you look at Domo stock? Bullish divergence on daily, question mark? Sure. Domo. There is, but God, man, you're playing fucking shitcoin roulette, and I just do not understand this shit, man. To be honest, I really don't understand why you'd want to play bullish divergence here on an asset that's been down only since September 2025, like big down only. It's a lot easier to play the downside moves on shit like this. Do you have bullish evidence here? Yes, you do. Could it pop up to maybe $4.50 at best, or I don't know, somewhere between 4.5 to 5? Sure. Do I think that's a much more difficult move to play than probably the next lower high into the next downside move? Absolutely. But yeah, I think that you will bounce here. But it's the same issue as when you talk about bounces on shitcoins. It's like the easy direction is down. The hard direction is like these short-term moves to the upside. And you got to be really fucking quick to sell it if you get that move, if you even get that move. This thing's a lot more apt to just dump through all hell than it is to pump through all hell at any given moment. But yeah, if I had to call it short-term, does rally up a little bit more, but fuck, man. Like, I just don't understand this fucking crypto obsession with finding the worst, most awful looking charts and then being like, I think it's gonna bounce. And then fucking buying, like, just find a bullish one. There's really nice charts in traditional markets, infinite amounts almost. Find those on a pullback, play bounces there. Getting a pullback on an uptrending asset is so much easier than getting a bounce on a down-only asset. I can assure you of this, sir. Hey, Crown, how's REMX looking? Let's check it out. Last I saw it was pulling back from $100. Now it's back above $100. Look, I'm still holding my position here, which, full disclosure, I do own this thing. I'm biased, blah, 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 blah. I do think that at some point you will retest this high at 125. I don't think you're going to be pushing through that high anytime soon, however. So yeah, you know, I think it might be like one of these where you pop up here, have a sharp correction to the downside, and then it's going to be a game of limbo. It makes it hard, honestly. It makes it really hard because these charts do have the potential to have a major reversal. You do have a quarterly higher low end. And that is why I did buy this down around $35 when I called it out many, many aeons ago. The problem is that until you actually reclaim this high right here, you don't have a reversal. And there's a lot of fucking space between where it's at right now and that low. And a lot of space to hopefully put in another higher low. Makes it very, very difficult. Now, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm still holding my position here, but I will certainly be letting some go, I don't know, probably even a little bit today, honestly, just because, not because I don't think it's going to go higher. I actually do think it's going to go higher. Just, I mean, shit, man, it's like more than 3x in my fucking pocket. Like, I have to take some profits. Can't get too goddamn greedy here. Sam Fragotti is back. He's looking at WDS on Australian Shitcoin Exchange. Yeah, weird one long term. Hasn't really been great since 08, actually, so that's not a great sign. You got higher lows in here. You're already kind of selling off from the 200 simple on the monthly. Let's go down to the weekly as you requested. I don't know on this one. There is potential for a reversal for sure. Do I trust it? It's like the same issue as like the shitty charts before. It's like when you get a down only chart, and this one's been, make no mistake, this one's been down only since 08. I do think your upside is likely capped. I mean, you got this sort of regression coming in here, which is also in alignment with the price action pivot indicator. So you can just go off of that. I think you probably do extend this rally somewhere around 35-ish. But at that point, you have to be on defensive for another lower high. Really can't get long-term bullish until you're back above this $39 high right here. So it's like, it's complicated. It's like, I do think you're going to trade higher, but I'd be very, very defensive in this region right here. Red pill clauses says ONDS. Sure. ONDS. ONDAS. Weird one. I really despise these charts. Like, I get why people buy them. I guess I do have to be bullish on this. You know, you do have a weekly uptrend right here. You do have another higher low on hidden bullish evidence on low volatility. So this ultimately is a setup that's more likely to play out to the upside, back to like 15 bucks. But you don't really confirm like your macro reversal, you know, your monthly big one, until you're back above $15. So still got a long way left to go. I think that you're going to test that region a few more times. My personal opinion is that you won't break it in the short term. You'll test it in the short term, but you won't break it in the short term. You'll likely reject it in the short term, but hopefully for your sake, I'm wrong on that one. Let's see what else. Tesla, sure. Again, full disclosure, as always, I do own Tesla. It's back above 400 bucks. I still have the same thing to say about it as before. Look, my line in the sand is a price action pivot here at 382 and 78 cents. As long as you're above there, I'm holding long. Again, my long positions are from well under $300, so not going to be relevant for everyone. And below this area right here, I'll capitulate by taking profit. Other than that, I think in the short term, you very likely do rally up to like 410. Other than that, I don't have really strong opinions on this. My strong opinion is on a short-term rally to 410. Can't really call a reversal here to the upside in the short term as long as you are below, below last week's high, which is 420, great number. And by the same token, can't really get super bearish on this until you're below the price action pivot, which was effectively the lows from November of last year at 382 and 80 cents. So yeah, kind of a tale of two areas there. I kind of do think this one will end up coming down after the short-term rally, but not strong opinions there, to be honest. For your long-term Bitcoin holdings, 10 years or so, will you book profits after getting 3 to 4x returns, or just hold? Oh man, those have been in like 3 to 4x returns years ago. So no. The promise that I made to myself is that I will just literally hold that for, it was 10 years at the beginning. Now it's probably about 9 years from now. So I'm just sticking to that, man. I mean, yeah. Basically what I'm doing. Thoughts on Microsoft? I love their products. If we're talking about the chart, we can look at that. Another chart or asset that I've been looking to accumulate myself, which I have done a very poor job of doing by getting very greedy on every pullback that it ever gives me. But I hope that it will be doing the same right here. You know, I do think that you probably play officially down to like 370 or somewhere on that green 55 EMA, which is 371.5. I think that you'll very likely bounce there as well. And personally, I will very likely buy some around there. When I look at the buy monthly, not good. Multiple drives of bearish divergence. Short term probably does try a rally to 435. After that, maybe falls back down. But yeah, short term, you know, should hold that like 375 low and then rally. And I do think that you will rally up to like 420-ish, give or take. From there, I don't know. Yeah. Ethereum, we could look at Ethereum. Ethereum actually, I was looking at it yesterday. I was thinking to myself, wow, Ethereum actually, compared to Bitcoin, looks a lot more like it's putting in a major low here. And I'd say the same thing still. Ethereum will confirm a major low if it can just trade above last week's high at 2155. And at that point, should see a quick rally up to like 23 or 2400. And I'd be calling this a major low here, maybe even a macro low possible for sure, but definitely a major low if that happens, you know, with short-term price targets to about 2400. So yeah, you even have potential for hidden bullish evidence on the monthly here as well. So I'd give it the benefit of the doubt, honestly. Had a little bit of a better response in Bitcoin as well, which is interesting to see. Degenerate Speculator says, HBAR shitcoin breakout area invalidation. Oh God, what sort of trap am I leading myself into here? There's no such thing as a breakout on something that looks like this, man. It's just garbage. I don't even know what time frame you're looking at. You don't even have a breakout validation yet. In order to validate a breakout here, you need to trade and close above this high from 13th of February, which is 1075. And at that point, like your upside maybe to 13 or 14 cents, I guess. Again, there's a lot of ifs here. Ultimately, this thing is bad. It's very bad. Like if it popped up to, 12, 13, 14 cents, I think that would be a gift from God, honestly. This thing ultimately wants to go down after whatever rally it's likely to get this month. Yeah, man. Yeah. How the fuck do I tag people? Seems like it isn't working. Yeah, I don't actually, I was trying to do that earlier and I couldn't figure it out, honestly. IWM for M trades, sure. All right. Yeah, really good here. The breakout is real. It's following through. I'm still bullish on this thing. I've been bullish on this thing. Same with Russell 2000. I think you're going to head above like $300 at some point, probably this year. This is good. This is good. Just going to move a little bit slowly, but yeah. I'm looking at this. I think you're going above $300. Might take some time, but yeah. Any possibility of opening up crypto payments on Teachable? I'd like to purchase the advanced stochastic trial. Was great. Really glad to hear that, man. And by the way, for anyone wondering, you can get free trials on pretty much any one of our products or indicators. If they are subscriptions, obviously. Even the Ribbon Ribbons over here, the Ribbit Ribbits, still got them as well. But yeah, if you do want to do crypto, we traditionally don't like to accept it. But if barring certain circumstances, we can make it work. What you can do is you can email elsa.crowntrading@outlook.net, elsa.crowntrading@outlook.net, and we can probably set something up for you. I've tried to speak to Teachable people about, hosting crypto payments, but Teachable is like TradingView. They're completely useless and they only make changes that make the platform worse. They fucking suck. But unfortunately, there's nothing better than them. So so I continue to use them. But yeah, man, it's unfortunately the way that it is right now. Anyways, ENB on Nicey. It looks like a nice breakout. Let's check it out. Maybe so. There's been certainly a few nice breakouts today. Technically, it's not a breakout here, but I think that that's a formality. I think that it will break out. I would just be defensive in the short term for maybe one more try to the downside of like $51 or $52. Ultimately, I think it's an opportunity, and whether it gets that pullback or not, I think is irrelevant. I think that this thing will make new highs, but to be fair, it has not officially gotten the breakout just yet. It would need to really close above this high here, and that's it's kind of far away. Now, do I think it's going to do that? Yes, I do. This is objectively a strong chart. I mean, fuck, the last bi-monthly closed on a massive bullish engulfing dildo around the previous highs. That is in a strong position to break out, absolutely. But if you want to go by the book, technically it hasn't just yet. I believe that it will. And I think that's, you're going to get new all-time highs relatively soon, and just kind of like eyeballing areas of interest to the upside. I mean, what's your rate of change here? 54 versus, 25. So I don't know, like 75, $80 on a breakout. It's probably going to take many months from there, but yeah, man. Bram Sloopier says, can you take a look at Grab? Sure. Grab Holdings. Good name. Terrible chart. Very bad chart. Among the worst charts we've seen today. Send it back down, man. If this thing bounced up to like fucking $5, it'd be a gift from God. I don't even think it does that, but just bet on downside here. This thing's a lot more likely to go back down to $2.50 than it is to ever go back above like $7.50, for example. This is extremely bad. Looking for a long-term position. I don't know, if you just hate money and despise opportunity costs, then yeah, go for it, man. I wouldn't touch this thing with a fucking 100 million foot pole. That's just me. That's just me. Okay, cool. Let me take another sip of this. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, send Elsa an email. She'll be able to help you out most likely. Yeah, cool. Stocks don't look better than Crapto. Okay. I don't know. Many stocks today have absolutely looked better significantly than crypto. When you say Crapto, maybe you're just talking about all of the shit coins included. Well, duh. I mean, 99.9% of stuff in this market is completely fucking irrelevant, completely useless, completely valueless. But shit, man, there's many stocks that are not just challenging previous all-time highs, they're making new all-time highs. So they are, yes, objectively much better. Oh, stocks don't look any better than crypto. Yeah, a lot of stocks are like that for sure. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. Yeah, man, I agree with you. You know, you can find shitcoin stocks in traditional markets absolutely as well, man. It's pathetic, but yeah, you know, crypto people like to go towards that because you know they've seen these crazy volatile bounces in crypto and assume that it's going to be the same thing in traditional markets. Sometimes it does work out like that, but I mean, you're just putting yourself in such a massive hole by trying to make those things work instead of just picking an already good asset and just playing the bounces there. I mean, for fuck's like, I just cannot understand how this is so fucking prevalent in this space. Like, you have the easy way or the hard way to make money. I just don't like, why do people want to make it hard? It's already hard enough. Added the silver short at 95. Looked at that one today. Yeah, we looked at that very early. Maybe we'll go back a little bit later, but I think you got a great position, honestly. How is USAX looking? I don't know. I don't think I've ever looked at this. It's a long USAR daily ETF. Okay, new one for me. I don't like it overall, but do I think that you're going to rally a little bit more here? Probably, yeah. You know, maybe it rallies up to like 30, 31 bucks. I personally don't like it that much, but I do think that you got a short-term rally most likely. What's up, Rather Be Hated? HAS, just a symbol. Is that Hasbro? It is. They're the ones who make that shitty candy, right? Or do they make the toys? I don't know. Yeah, overall pretty good here. I think that you're going to re-challenge this high after a short-term pullback, which maybe you've already seen. It might pull back a little bit more to like 90, 92, 93 bucks, whatever. But ultimately, I do think that you re-challenge this high right here. Okay, I must have charted this one like literally 5 years ago, but yeah, somewhere around there. Overall, decent. You know, long term, you got your next macro high or low right here. I think generally, if you pull back to 90 bucks, that's fine. It's very likely going to go up from here. This is good. This is very, very good. And then be wary that you will very likely get another pullback when you reclaim, or sorry, not reclaim, but re-challenge that previous high at 120 or so. Fun fact, China is making too much energy and has built extra data centers in West China. Well, shit, man. If only we could do the same thing. Unfortunately, there is like a strong contingent. There's like a strong contingent of America that like, for all intents and purposes, and I'm really trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, they seem to root against anything that gives the West an advantage. I don't know why. Just self-hating people, I guess. I don't know. Move to fucking China if you hate us so much. And outsource computing there. Building a fiber network is much cheaper than building power lines. The company who makes the fiber is covered in the KWEB ETF. I love fiber. Google, sure, yeah, we could look at Google. I don't think we looked at Google in a long time here. Let's see. Jesus Christ, man. Really, really powerful chart here. The problem is that if it does break down from where it's at right now, you kind of got a long way down to the next major area of interest, which is about like 270. Quarterly looks a little bit iffy. Bi-monthly looks a little bit iffy. I wouldn't be surprised if you do see a pullback down to like 280, 285 over these next couple months. I wouldn't get bearish on it long term or anything like that, but you know, if it came down around here, I wouldn't be that surprised, and I'd be expecting a higher low around there. It's kind of the way I'd be looking at this one. Other than that, like, do I think it's going to bottom out where it's at right now? I don't think so. You do have a head and shoulders right here, and your technical target is very likely going to be somewhere around here. I'd probably wait for that pullback. Obviously, long term, it's great. You know, it's like find me a better chart than this. Long term, it's very difficult. But I am a little bit more biased towards this one in particular, pulling back in the short term. Anyways, Degenerate Speculator says, if someone has $10,000, Bitcoin won't change their life. Shits offer the life-changing multiple that Bitcoin used to, so they all... Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. I think it's just misguided because with Bitcoin, if you have $10,000 or even $1,000, if you invest in Bitcoin for the long term, you're probably going to do well with that. And just because you have $10,000 today to invest doesn't mean that you're going to have $10,000 for forever to invest. You probably have a job or some means of making income in which you could slowly add to that. And you could compound for yourself. And over the course of 20, 30, 40, 50 years, that could be a very respectable sum. But, you know, I totally get where people are coming from. Like if you have nothing or you have very, very little, whether it's $1,000, $100 or $10,000, whatever is little to you, and you feel like you're under pressure and you feel like there's very little opportunities in life, then yeah, gambling makes a lot more sense. I totally get that. It's just that's an emotional decision. And if you would apply any logic to it, then I think it falls apart very, very quickly. But I get where it's coming from. I totally get where it's coming from. Like, obviously, you want to have the amazing play, because you've seen it on fucking YouTube, you've seen it on Twitter, you've seen all these people posting, these amazing one-off gains. But the problem is you don't know the full story there. You don't know the full story. You don't know if they kept those gains. You don't know if that was even a real position. You don't know if they were just engagement farming. You don't know if they have just lost so much money elsewhere that they were, still losing money, even though that they had like one major gainer. It's really easy to make it look nice on social media. I highly doubt that it works out for most people long term. That's just my personal opinion. I have no information to support that. Let's see. Blue VR sent in a super chat, but no message. Feel free to just post a message at the bottom of the chats right now. I'm watching them, and we love a discount. We love it. Yeah, we love a discount indeed. What's up, Bear Nutrition? Looks like Planet Labs might break out. How about a ticker, my man? You want to look at near? Sure. Like, Jesus Christ, man, you really want to go deep into the shitcoin drawer. I just like. No offense, man, but I'm just wondering, Swamp Dog, like, why? And who are you getting this idea from that this is even like an investable asset to begin with, or even a tradable asset? Like, this is just fucking garbage, dude. It's such fucking garbage. Like, what social media account is promoting shit like this? I want to know, because fuck them. They're fucking idiots. They're fucking idiots, man. Best case scenario in the next 2 months, I think this thing rallies up to 175, and that's a fucking gift from God. That is pure hopium, honestly. This thing is almost undoubtedly going to retest the all-time lows at 57 cents and probably make new lows from there. If we fast forward two years from now, I feel very, very strong in that statement. In the short term, does it try a bounce? Sure. But just like all previous rallies, it fails. And I think absolute fucking best stars aligning case maybe gets a retest of the 21 EMA. But that's the perfect place to short some bullshit like this. It's garbage, man. It's fucking garbage. It's tradable. It's just short it. True, yeah. But you also need the liquidity to get out of your short when you want to, buy your shares back or buy your coins back. So there is that as well. It's just, look, it's just easier things to do, man, in my opinion. It's just much easier things to do. Daryl K says FN, great arms manufacturer. We should make a gun channel on the Discord. By the way, if you're not a part of the Discord, there is a link to the description below. It's free to join. It is a crazy place. You join at your own risk. You join at your own peril. This is good, man. I think that this thing's actually going to probably reclaim last week's high. Short term, if you have a correction down to 509, 510, that's fine. I think that that's probably an opportunity. I think that this thing's setting up for new all-time highs, actually. Yeah. Overall, pretty good. I don't know. I don't think it goes on for that much longer, though. But maybe another month or whatever. By contrast, however, I would get bearish on this thing below 420. It's very far away, but it's kind of showing like the acceleration of this thing. But short term, yeah, I would be betting on more upside. I think this thing retests last week's high, probably makes new highs, I don't know, over the next month or two, whatever it is. Some people just want to see the flush. Fair enough. I understand this. I also like the flush as well. One moment. Vader Jacob says, good day, Crown. What's up, man? Can you take a look at SIMO? Sure. SIMO. Okay. I don't think we've looked at this one before. Short term, I think it's coming down, but long term, overall pretty good. So I think it's a short term correction with long term upside. How far do you come down? Maybe somewhere around like 110 to 113. Still a higher low though. Higher term time frame still decent, I guess. Looking for anything else? That's it. I think quarterly still has more to go. So I don't know whether it's this quarter, whether it's next quarter. I think that you do have new all-time highs, but short term, does it pull back? Probably, yeah. Probably comes down around those numbers. Something like that, man. And Mr. Peter Underwood, good morning to you as well, man. Smith & Wesson, yeah, I've actually looked at this stock. I remember I wasn't that impressed with it, though. Let's check it out. Yeah, hard one to like here, man. Very hard one to like here. It's just so many better things. I mean, you're below the 200 simple right here. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think they make great products. They really do. But as far as charts goes, this one's not investable for me. Or at least I don't like it. it's very possible it might pop up a little bit more towards like 13, 14 bucks, but I do think whether it tops out here or whether it tops out at 13 or 14 is irrelevant. It's not been great. I'll put it that way. It is not great. Hip Hop Anonymous says, "Hey Crown, love you going through random stocks on here. It pairs with your Bible well." Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm very, very glad to hear that. And that's honestly one of the reasons why I do these streams as well. Is like for the people who are in the educational program, like the Crown Trading Bible, you should be seeing all these fucking similar sort of things that we talk about in that program on these streams. And I think it'd be, hopefully it's very, very helpful. Just kind of like rehash these ideas and, show it in motion, very often. I am in the process of planning a big update to the long-term investing section of the Crown Trading Bible. But I do want to say, while it is in the works, it's not going to happen before the Options 101 playlist is complete. So I would probably put that out like a few months, honestly. But yeah. Anyways, what else do we have? Consumerism still flourishing with Costco and Walmart looking good. Yeah, Costco. I was just at Costco the other day. Still the best, man. Yeah. Might pull back to 970 here, but this is overall very, very bullish long term. Yeah, if it pulls back to 970, probably an opportunity, if anything. Sam says, honestly, these streams are invaluable for education alongside your programs. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, that's among the points of them is, hammered in for the people who really are trying to, who really are trying to learn this stuff. The best way to learn anything, at least in my experience, is just repetition. I don't know if I'm just like an actual redact, but for whatever reason, I don't learn things fast. But if I just surround myself with the content, not even necessarily focusing on it that much, but just expose myself to it over and over and over again, it somehow sinks in. It's always been that way in my life. It's really frustrating, actually, because whenever I try to directly study something, it doesn't go that well, actually. Yeah, Costco's the best, man. It's the fucking best. Lev Ash says, "Hey, man, any thoughts on Bitcoin via prop firms to gain some capital? Have you tried it yourself?" I partnered up with one of those props before, Breakout Prop. They've had some good reviews. I know people who have used them who have good things to say. I've not personally used it because I don't need to use it. I'm not trying to say this to sound like I'm fucking better than anyone else or anything like that. But in my opinion, and I know that this is an incendiary statement to some people, but in my opinion, if you have your own equity, there is almost no situations that make sense to trade a prop account rather than your own money. I know people are going to say the usual pushbacks, but they're literally just talking points given to them by the fucking prop firms. But look, these prop firms are notorious for being bucket shops, for not doing their payouts, for not settling their trades properly. I've seen so many issues with these things, man. So do I think that you can do it? Look, if you are in a position where you don't have enough of your own capital to trade, then yeah, prop shops are your best option. I'm not saying it's a great option, but it's your best option. But if you have your own capital, I think it's very difficult. And I hold back my words here because for some reason, some people take such great offense to this, which I don't understand. Maybe it's just because I guess I'm insinuating that they don't have enough capital to trade themselves, which means that they're not actually successful. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if you have your own capital, there's very little reason to trade a prop firm. If you don't have enough capital to trade effectively though, then yeah, prop firm is a great option. I mean, that's how I started off myself. It's a little bit different. I was trading like a real, options prop firm, like a market making prop firm, not like a fucking bucket shop online that basically, is like, give me $5, I'll let you trade $100 type thing. But I get it, I get it. Happy birthday to Peter Underwood. Fuck yeah, man. Happy birthday, 28 years. You made it past 27. Fuck yeah. Happy birthday to you. How does it go? Do you want Rosie to sing it? All right, hold on. Okay, we have a special announcement. All right, come here. No, Rosie. Uh-oh. All right, she's goofed. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter. Happy birthday to Wait, Rosie, turn off my fucking microphone. Oh my God. Rosie hit the fucking off button on my microphone. That's some bullshit. She's going back to the dog pound immediately. No, seriously, happy birthday, Mr. Peter Underwood. Yeah, I mean, these bit funded things, these, especially the crypto native prop shops. Look, if it's your only option, fucking go for it, man. Like, there's not that much downside, but I don't know, man. I've seen a lot more bad things come from these places than good. I'll just put it that way. Again, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I really don't know why it's offensive. But like, some people take great offense to it. Believe me, I've like received some really hateful messages from people, like, "You fucking fraud. You're saying prop shops are bad." I'm like, well, yeah, yes. All right, CZ is looking at SPX 6900. I'm sure it's looking great, man. I'm sure it's looking really good. Strong community. Oh, baby. We have a strong community. We're only down 99%, but we got a lot of back holders. Oh, it's only down to 86%. Okay, I take back what I said. It's not so bad. It's not so bad after all. 86%. It's peanuts. Yeah, man. Among the worst charts we've seen today. Look, if you're hoping for a bounce, I mean, you do get your bounces here, just like with any down-only asset, but it's just opportunities to sell. I don't think playing the bounces is worth it. I think finding the next lower highs is worth it. You know, if you get up to 42 cents, maybe there's an opportunity there. Or, you know, maybe if you get up to like, 42 cents, I think best case scenario, like stars aligning, full hopium, extremely unlikely. But if 55 cents happened, that'd be the most obvious trade of, the next year, I suppose. But yeah. I don't even know what prop shops are, but it sounds bad already. Basically, it's these, it's okay. You really have to differentiate between like actual prop shops, which is what I was a part of, versus versus like the fucking prop shops that you see in crypto. So the crypto prop shops are basically like, you go through an evaluation period where you pay like $100 in order to test yourself and prove that you can make X amount of money in Y amount of time. So something like that. Usually the specifications in order to pass it are like very unrealistic or very much against you. Like they won't let you draw down past X amount, or they won't let you trade, X, Y, Z. And a lot of the time they do some shady behavior. Like I've seen so many times where people complain that a prop shop closed their trade, even though it was going in their favor, because whatever of the fine print was violated, or maybe not even, or we really don't even know the specific of these situations. Just in my opinion, just the fact that you might have that issue to begin with is a really clear indication that you should avoid it if possible. Now, again, there are people who cannot avoid it, and that's fine. Like that's how I started off as well. And if that's where you are, then fuck yeah, man. Go ahead and do it. I hope you do make it that way. It can be done, but it is difficult, and to me, it's not the ultimate destination. I'll put it that way. It's certainly not the ultimate destination. RKT for Hip Hop Anonymous. Sure. I remember, God, I don't remember what the chart looks like. Kind of breaking down here a little bit. I don't think it's going to be like a full-on breakdown, but I do think you got a little bit of downside to like $16, somewhere between like 15 and a half to $16. I'd want to see a bounce there and then come back to it after that. I don't have any other strong opinions on it. Just a little bit of short-term downside, but should bounce in that pocket, which is called around $15. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, this very well may be the high for a very long time, or it's setting up for another higher low. I don't want to call it right there. I just feel confident about the short term. Usually have to make around 15% overall with the 10% max drawdown, about $500 for $100,000 of trading equity. 99% of people failed the evaluation. Yeah, from what I understand, that's how these companies typically make their money. It's not from like sharing, the equity and taking, a little bit from your winnings. No, it's from people just failing their fucking evaluation, which fair enough. I mean, shit, if people want to gamble on that, like their rules are readily available. So it's like you do it to yourself, I guess. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. The strategy to trade props is more important than your actual trading strategy, says Sam Frandozi. Yeah, perhaps yes. Like I said, they have their own rules, so you know, you got to kind of learn that. It's a different game. It really is a different game. Costco is supposed to be one guest per member per visit. Really? Fair enough. All right. I feel offended, says Stylistical. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry indeed. You're not paying for $100,000 capital. You're paying for the drawdown amount. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I get it. Let's see. Do we have anything else here, or are we good for the day? Let's take a quick look at some of the majors just one more time. And special shout out to all of the Iranian people from the community here. I've been getting a lot of messages from Iranian people, and I'm very, very happy for you guys. Sincerely happy for you guys. Like, it's one of the times where you're very proud to be an American. Like, when you actually see real people who are really fucking happy with what's going on, like, that's awesome, man. That's fucking awesome. Then we got a couple of them in here right now, and just received like a lot of messages over this weekend, man. And that was, I don't know, man. Makes you feel good. Even though I don't really have much of a part in it either way, but it still makes me feel good. Anyways, gold, still holding on to higher low. Can't really hate it too much right there. Played out the bearish divergence. You know, for me, gold doesn't turn bearish until it's below 5,100. Silver, did it take out last week's low? That's the real question. It is damn close, but not quite there just yet. Still want to see below 85 and a quarter. But this one looking a lot more like a bull trap than gold to me right now. Looking at the weekly, yeah. God, man, this really, really looks like it's a bull trap in the making. If it does lose last week's low, I'd be looking for a move over the next couple of weeks down to like 75 or 70 even. It's kind of a big move from where you're at right now, you know, 20% or so, or more than 20%, I should say. What about traditional markets like Nas back above 25, so not bad there. Still want to see it trade above last Friday's high. That's where we got a bullish engulfing dildo. Same thing with SPY futures. Not as close to last Friday's high though, but still hanging on for dear life on these higher lows, man. Yeah, we can check out NASDAQ really quickly. We're just there, but you know, you still got low, higher low, or if you're counting all the way back from here, low, higher low, higher low, higher low. If it puts in a bullish engulfing above last Friday's high, I would go out on a limb to front run a reversal back above last week's high at that point. So, you know, you reclaim last week's high right here, and you should get a straight shot up to that previous high. And then from there, you know, how's this thing going to look like? It's going to look like one massive ascending triangle. You know, then you got breakout targets past $28,000. But of course, one thing before the next, and it's a long day left to go, and still you don't even have the bullish engulfing here. It needs to trade a little bit higher than where it's already got and close above there, more importantly. So, yeah. But it's fighting, man. Shit. There is something to say when you see this many wicks around an area of interest like this. You know, it's probably going to try something. So I wouldn't count it out just yet, man. I still have a bullish bias in this. I'm still holding my triple Qs. For fuck's sake, like, again, for full disclosure, I'm in from significantly lower on triple Qs. Like, we're talking below $400 for triple Qs. But as it stands right now, I don't have a reason to be looking for a reversal yet. You know, below the February low, okay. But yeah, I guess I'd look for a reversal there and, you know, down to like mid fives. But Thomas Powers is saying AV getting smoked. Yeah, I haven't looked at this one. I did not invest in this one though. Yeah, it is getting absolutely fucking crushed here. Wow, that is ugly. Yeah, probably down to the green 55 in the monthly at 172. I might even set an alert there. I don't know if I want to pick this one up. When I was doing my initial investments in the defensive sector, this one was among the tickers I was looking at, but I ended up not going with it. I might be interested down around there. Shit, man, this thing would be down more than 50%. Yeah, 60% if that happens. So I'll set an alert. We'll see what happens if it gets there. We shall see. We shall see indeed. And then Bitcoin back below 69. Again, today's closure, very, very important. Very, very important. It starts off with reclaiming the daily midband on the revenue ribbons for the first time since middle of January. That will happen if Bitcoin closes above about 67.5. Then your next signal, or the next major signal I'd be looking for, is of course closing above yesterday's high. You actually don't have a bullish engulfing, but still look good. Friday's high, you will actually have a bullish engulfing on CME plus bullish divergence. To me, that's going to be pretty strong to likely front run the continuation of this reversal to the mid 70s, at least, something like that. But, you know, we got another 4 hours, 25 minutes left to go. So a lot can happen today. But for right now, looking pretty good. We'll see how the day finishes. Tomorrow we'll update on it. Obviously, we'll have, you know, we'll have the results by tomorrow, and we'll know, like, okay, is this a valid reversal or not? But for right now, it's definitely possible. But Bitcoin's selling off a little bit too quickly right there. We'll see. We'll see. Still give it a chance, though. We got a long day left, very long day left. Yeah, gap fill at 195 for AV. I think it's going a little bit lower than that. I might put in a little bit around those prices, but I'm curious why it's actually dumping off that hard. I think most of the defense stocks are still holding up pretty damn well here. Yeah, I'm looking at my Kratos. I'm looking at my Red Cat. Red Cat's up 20%. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. And it was up well more than that, actually, at one point today. Jeez, what the fuck, man? This thing was up. Wait. Huh? No, from... Have I lost my fucking mind? Is this not? Oh, this is probably not measuring from the time that I'm thinking of. Okay, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Most crypto hitting some resistance. Yeah, I mean, they all kind of trip with each other, right? Volume is nutty on AV. Let's go look at the lower time frames on that one to see what it looks like. AV. Whoops. AV. Aero environment. God, that is. Did someone die? Like, God, that is bad. Did they find out they have a bunch of like Chinese spies working for them or some shit? Yeah, the volume on this is significantly higher than anything it's seen ever in its history. So this is significant. I probably won't buy it. Yeah, I won't buy it until like I see this thing let the dust settle. I see the gap fill that you're looking at. It probably gets an initial bounce there, but I don't think that it holds. I do think that you will come down. This is pretty ugly right here, man. This is a head and shoulders on it monthly as well. So there's real downside there, man. There's real downside. All right. Couple last ones, then we'll call it a day. Nobody cares. It's questionable how strong the stock is when there's a new war and defense stock goes, yeah, that's probably not the best response for a defense stock, right? Yeah, I agree with you on that, man. That makes a lot of sense to me too. RCAT and ONDS news, fair enough. I think we looked at both of those already. Raymond James downgraded AVIV 2 hours ago from strong buy to underperform. Interesting. Okay. I don't think those ratings honestly matter that much, but fair enough. Yeah, the waterfall pattern. I mean, this is like just a fucking free fall is what it is. It's a free fall. Jesus. In general, do you look for a close above the previous wick high to instigate a move higher? No, it depends because it's based off of the trend. So if you're, of course, in an uptrend and you close above the previous wick high, then yeah, I mean, that's going to be your breakout generally. Assuming that there was like some sort of a, you know, consolidation formation leading up into that. So it is context dependent. It would be better for me to show you with an example. SCHD holding strong. Is that Schwab? SCHD. It is. No, it's Schwab dividend. Yeah. Okay. I don't have this one. Yeah. Really fucking good. Holy shit. Look, there might be a pullback down to like 30 and a half or whatever, but that's an opportunity. This thing is up and up only. Unbelievable. 3 lessons learned today. Indeed. All right, cool guys. I think we're gonna shut things off on that note. I have a lab appointment to get to. Gotta give some bloods. The old bloods. Sad about that. Yeah, for my sex. Yeah, that's right, Elsa. For my sex change operation. That's right. I'm becoming a fucking woman, so now you're a lesbian. Congratulations. Yeah, you know, just wrapping up Bitcoin here again. If you just want like a super easy soundbite, closing up CME closing above Friday's high should be good enough for this one to validate a reversal. You got the higher low in place. You got a bullish engulfing dildo. Yes, it's still kind of bouncing off of the 21 EMA, but for me, this would likely be good enough. Other than that, super easy invalidations for getting bearish on Bitcoin at this point, and that is simply just below today's low. So live and die by the sword on that low, basically, which is $65,000 even on CME and a little bit above there on spot price action. But yeah, we'll end things on that note. Just want to say a massive thank you for joining in. It's always been a major pleasure speaking to you on this Monday morning. We'll be back on tomorrow with another just regular video, short form video, and then Wednesday with another live stream. Other than that, take